FabFitFun may tell us that a box contains hundreds of dollars in value, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's worth hundreds of dollars to us. If your renewal is coming up, here are 5 questions to ask before you pay. Because sometimes a subscription box saves us money, and sometimes it simply gives us a very attractive way to buy things we never knew we wanted. Hi, I'm Olia, and I'm approaching another FabFitFun renewal. I've been receiving these boxes for several years, and at one point I somehow ended up with 3 subscriptions. Now my reasoning was that I could use the extra products for gifts, and that ordering another box sometimes seemed more economical than buying several additional choices during customization, which in review I had done, and those add-ons cost a few $100s. So what actually happened was that I ended up accumulating far more than I could realistically use. Yes, some items became gifts, many items were donated, but it got to the point where a few were sold at garage sales, and some just didn't work and were passed on. And some simply sat around much longer than they should have. So before I renew this year, I'm trying to make a much more thoughtful decision. And if you're in the same boat, here's 5 questions you can ask yourself. Okay, question number 1. Would I buy this anyway? The first question is, would I already be spending money on something in this box? One of the fall spoilers is a Salt and Stone deodorant. I already need deodorant, and I'm currently buying another relatively expensive brand. So this is a product category where the box could potentially be replacing something I was going to buy anyway. It also lets me try a brand I'm curious about without paying full price for that product itself. So that is real value to me. But one useful deodorant does not automatically justify an entire annual membership. I still need enough useful choices across the full box. So there's been spoilers throughout this week, and the Salt and Stone deodorant is among one of those fall 2026 options. Although the full official box reveal is still developing, that is one of the items I'm already interested in, and there are a few trickling in. My second question is probably the most important. Is the box replacing something I would buy, or is it creating a brand new expense? So if I choose deodorant, skincare I already use, a practical household item, or a gift I genuinely needed to buy, the subscription may replace other spending. But if I choose a room spray because it looks luxurious, then buy 3 add-ons, then convince myself I need another box to obtain more choices, I have not saved any money. So I may still enjoy the purchase, and enjoyment has value, but I want to describe it honestly. So a fun purchase is not automatically a financial saving. Question number 3, am I choosing for my real life? Am I choosing for the real life or an imaginary version of my life? Subscription boxes can make us imagine that we are about to become people who host elaborate dinners, follow 12-step beauty routines, travel constantly, or reorganize our entire homes every weekend. But how many candles do I already own? How many towels do I need? Will I really use another room spray? Would I buy those bowls if they were sitting on a regular store shelf without a countdown clock beside them? Clothing is another consideration. I once chose a sweatsuit that looked great online, but the oversized fit didn't work for me, so I eventually donated it. I still needed clothing afterward, so that choice did not actually replace anything. I also chose a denim jacket that I genuinely liked. Unfortunately, that choice was too small for me. So that is why I'm not saying clothing is automatically a bad choice. I'm saying sizing and fit introduce more risk, and I need to be honest about whether I will really wear it. Question number 4. What from past boxes earned its place? So am I still using things from previous boxes? This mug is one of my favorite FabFitFun items, and I have used it for years. I actually have a backup. To me, this mug has earned its place many times over. I have also discovered products through FabFitFun that I enjoyed, used completely, or later purchased again. But the claimed retail value of an item means very little when the item spends 2 years unopened in a closet. So I'll be doing a separate video where I go through my past boxes and divide everything into things I still use, things I loved but finished, and things I gave away intentionally, and things that were simply unfortunate choices. So that history will probably tell me more about whether I should renew than any promotional number will. On question number 5, does this fit my priorities now? So does renewing fit my current financial priorities? I'm preparing for a major trip and making changes in my professional life. So I'm being much more deliberate with where my money goes. Something can be a good deal and still not be the right deal for me right now. So the question is not simply, is FabFitFun worth the price? It is FabFitFun worth the price to me during this particular season of my life? So my current verdict? At this point, I am leaning towards renewing. There are already a few products I would genuinely use, and I enjoy the discovery and customization. But the final decision depends on the complete categories. So I'm not renewing solely because the box claims a high retail value. I'm renewing only if I can build a box around products I will use, products that replace other things, meaningful gifts, or one or two things that simply bring me joy. And I'm definitely not reopening 3 accounts. So is FabFitFun still worth it in 2026? My answer is that it can be, but only if the box fits your real life rather than filling your home with attractive evidence of money you did not actually save. So next, I'm reviewing what I'm still using from my previous boxes. Then when fall customization opens, I'll show what I choose, what I skip, and whether sensible decision making survives contact with the customization page. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.